Hey everybody, this is GGB co-host Poppers, and we're gonna get to no co-host Poppers. I'm just so used to saying that, but she's been gone for the past couple episodes, which is saddening. But this is GGB, I guess, and no co-host Poppers, which is weird to say. But we're gonna go over college basketball upset of the day, Wednesday edition. But let's go over Tuesday's games real quick. At 6 o'clock, we had number 9 Wisconsin traveling to number 7 Michigan, and this is one of the weird. I thought this game was going to be very close. Again, only a 3.5 point spread. It was supposed to be a close game. Michigan absolutely wiped the floor with Wisconsin. It wasn't close. It seemed like the game was over about 15 minutes into the first half. It was that quick. You could tell that Wisconsin was out of it. There was no way they were coming back. Michigan is looking like the best team in the Big Ten, which is why I'm really excited for whenever Iowa and Michigan play this year, because that's going to bring some fireworks to the Big Ten. You have Michigan, who's undefeated, and you have Luka Garza, and that's just going to make for some must-watch, must-see basketball. But again, I expected this game to be close, and Wisconsin absolutely got blown out. I expect them to fall out of the top 10 thanks to this, but Michigan really deserves to go up at least to the 5 spot. They are a very good basketball team this year. 6 o'clock, we had number 19 Duke traveling to number 20 Virginia Tech, and I know I didn't take the most outrageous of picks. Again, Duke was only favored by 1 point. But normally, when I'm picking my upset picks, I'm like, this could go 50-50. That's normally the best I can do. When I am so confident, and I was pretty super confident that Virginia Tech was going to beat Duke, then I'm going to go with that. That's just what I'm going to do. Well, Duke tried to make it interesting there for a little bit. Virginia Tech ended up just pulling away, and you can tell they were the better basketball team. It wasn't like Duke was hanging in there for the most of the game. Now, Virginia Tech would go up by 19 points, and then Duke would get it down to like 7, and then Virginia Tech would go and make it double digits again, and then Duke would bring it down to like 5, and then Virginia Tech would go and get to double digits again. It was like that. Every time they got close, Virginia Tech just had a very good counter to that, and that's good coaching. Coach K, I honestly think he's one of the best coaches in the NCAA, but it's not translating to wins right now. You look at some of the best programs, normally the best programs in the NCAA, if you're ignoring Kansas, UNC, you have Duke, and you have Kentucky. These are 3 of the normal best teams in the team. I don't know if Kentucky's going to make the tournament this year. They just got blown out by Alabama today. Just when they thought they turned a corner, it seems like they get sucked right back into sucking again. UNC just doesn't look good. Duke, again, doesn't look like a good basketball team, and I just don't know what to think of these big colleges that are normally great at basketball just not being that good anymore. But the next game, the 7 o'clock game, was my biggest surprise of the day. Number 6, Kansas traveled to Oklahoma State. And while I expected Kansas to win, I thought this was going to be a relatively close matchup. Oklahoma State destroyed Kansas. Destroyed them for a long time. Kansas fought back from a 16-point deficit, but I guess Oklahoma State learned from their West Virginia loss how to not let teams back into it, and Oklahoma State pulled it out, and they won this one in one of the biggest upsets I've seen this year so far. Oklahoma State beating number 6 Kansas is absolutely extraordinary. What an absolute game by those Cowboys. I forgot a lot. Oklahoma State's not going to be able to make March Madness. I don't think they're going to be able to play in the Big 12 tournament. So the real question is, what are you playing for then? You don't have a chance to make the playoffs. They were playing for pride. And you know what they did? They severely hurt Kansas. Kansas losing. Easily going to put them behind Michigan. The show Michigan put on against a really good Wisconsin team tonight, and then the show Kansas put on against Oklahoma State, an unranked team, I think I got to tell you, Oklahoma State's Kansas is going to fall. I don't know if they're going to be a top 10 team. It depends on their next game of the week, but dang, that was an upset I was not expecting today. But we have 4 ranked teams playing today. Actually, 5 ranked teams playing today. So, let's get into it. 3:30, we have Notre Dame, which is sitting at 3-7, traveling to number 18 Virginia. And I've been saying it all year. I don't think Virginia's a great basketball team this year. I don't believe it. I don't think the Cavaliers are that top tier. Everyone talks about top tier. I don't think they're very good. There's some teams I would have in the top 25 instead of them. I mean, you have teams like Michigan State and Northwestern out, but yeah, you have Virginia in there. I could say the same thing about Duke. It's not like I'm attacking Virginia and not attacking Duke. Virginia, I'm just not feeling it from them this year. Normally, I really love Virginia and what they do as a basketball program. They just don't seem to have the heart they normally do. Maybe they'll turn that around, but every time they seem to play a good basketball program or a halfway decent basketball program, they get absolutely destroyed. And honestly, I guess the only two teams they've really played so far is Michigan State and Gonzaga. But honestly, can you tell me realistically right now that you're watching them and you're thinking Virginia Tech wouldn't beat them? Because they canceled that game. If you're telling me right now that you're watching this and you don't think Illinois would beat them, you're just wrong. It's like, whenever I'm watching Virginia, I think, okay, this looks like a pretty good basketball team, but I'm putting up against teams in my head that aren't ranked, like NC State, like Boise State, like SMU, and I'm telling in my head, like, I'm watching this team, they're not gonna beat those teams. When you get a win over, like, a reasonable opponent, which Notre Dame isn't, which is why I'm sort of leaning to Virginia on this one, then you can talk to me. But the fact is, Virginia just has not had a significant win this year. It's just been all beating of mediocre teams, and not by a lot. Kent State sent them to overtime, and they're not even one of the best MAC teams. It's just, I don't know what to expect from Virginia anymore, and that makes me kind of upset. But honestly, I'd pick Virginia Tech to beat them. I'd pick Clemson to beat them. I'd pick NC State to beat them. I'd pick Louisville to beat them. NC State's not ranked. Virginia Tech and Louisville are both ranked lower. Lower! Actually, Louisville's ranked higher. Virginia Tech and NC State should not be ranked lower than Virginia, in my mind. I don't know if you guys agree with me. You can leave that in the comment section below, but I don't think Virginia deserves that high of a ranking. Notre Dame is leading the ACC with 37.6% shooting from behind the arc. So, we'll see what happens. They have been very good at shooting behind the arc. Fortunately, they've only won 3 games so far, though. Although they kept an Ohio State game close, so I'm interested. At 6 o'clock, we have Northwestern, which is sitting at 6-4, traveling to number 21, Ohio State. Now, Ohio State's favored by 8 points in this game. It's going to be interesting. Ohio State was not in the rankings last week, if you noticed, but then they hopped back in this week after a good performance last week. Northwestern has started out the season strong. I think they've lost a good amount in a row, maybe 3 or 4 in a row. So the real question is, can Northwestern get back on track? You do not want to slip as low as Maryland. That's not ideal for you. Northwestern, you kind of want to stay in the mid-range. You don't have to be top. You don't have to be Michigan. You don't have to be Wisconsin. You don't have to be Iowa or Illinois. You don't have to be those teams. You have to be as good as teams like Ohio State and Rutgers and Purdue and Maryland and, I'm forgetting one, aren't I? Indiana. Teams like that. You gotta be as good as those teams. So the real question, Northwestern, is can you say in your head, can you believe that you can beat Ohio State? I think they can. I think the Wildcats could do it. They won their last encounter 71-70. It's a very close game. I expect this to be a close-fought matchup. I think Northwestern, they could win. Now at 7:30, number 16 Louisville's traveling to Wake Forest. Now Louisville's 8-1 on the year, and their only loss, I believe, is to Michigan State. Wake Forest, on the other hand, is 3-3. They've struggled the past 2 weeks playing Virginia and Duke. And in my opinion, Louisville is significantly better than both those basketball teams. They're strides ahead, and that just shows the coaching. He was not supposed to have a great team this year. That's why they didn't start in AP Top 25, while Duke and Virginia probably will start in the AP Top 10, right? So, it's not like I'm very impressed with what Wake Forest has been putting out all year either. Like, Louisville is being very good, and I've been saying it for a long time. If I had to pick the ACC team to finish first in the ACC today, I'd pick Louisville. That's the way that Louisville's playing right now. That's not like I'm saying the conference is over or anything. I think there's a shot Virginia Tech takes it. I think there's a shot Clemson takes it. I honestly do think there's a shot NC State takes it the way they've been playing so far this year. I think Wake Forest is that great of a team, and Louisville is allowing only 7.3 assists per game, lowest in the ACC right now. And Louisville's favored by 8, so I don't know. I don't think the Demon Deacons are going to win this one. Sorry, Deacon fans. At 8 o'clock, we have number 15 Texas Tech, which is sitting at 10-3, traveling to number 4 Texas, which is 10-1. Now, a win against Texas Tech would 100% make me even more confident in Texas, because Texas has been going on kind of a revenge trek this year. They went to Kansas. They hadn't won in Kansas for, 20 years? They won in Kansas by a good amount. Let's talk about West Virginia. I think they went to West Virginia. They normally don't beat West Virginia. They dominated West Virginia. Although, no, never mind. The West Virginia game was close, but Shaka Smart played a good game. They coached very well, and he ended up beating West Virginia. Now, Texas Tech's coming to them. Texas Tech normally just absolutely beats up on Texas, right? This is your opportunity, Texas. Can you prove you changed? Can you prove you're a different Longhorns team this year? I've been watching Texas for a long time. And other than that one loss to Villanova, which is a very close game, I haven't seen anything bad from them. They had a weird performance against West Virginia. And a West Virginia team I don't think is very good. But I'm going to forgive it because they didn't end up winning that game. They had a weird performance against Davidson at the beginning of the year, but again, week 1, you're going to have some issues. But they were able to dominate Indiana, played a very close game against Villanova, beat Kansas, and right now they have a chance to knock off number 15 Texas Tech and just further their case to being a 1 seed. And being a 1 seed is huge because if you're a 1 seed or if you're 2 seed, that's huge because if you're a 3 seed, 14 seeds become to start to get a little bit difficult, okay? 15, 16, they're normally not that hard. 14, there might be one of those a year. Now, you don't want to slip to 4. 4 is bad. 12 seeds are normally... 12 seeds are normally good. 13 seeds. 13 seeds are normally decent. 5 seeds, bad spots to be at. Because there's at least one 12 seed upset a year. Maybe even 2. It's weird. So, Texas has really, really got to make sure they get that 1 seed. Because 1 seed has an easier track. Only have to beat like an 8 or 9 seed to get to these places. So it's not as difficult if you are a 1 seed as if you are a lower seed. And right now, Texas, you should be shooting for winning it all. That's what really you should be aiming for. It should be the ultimate goal for Texas. The Texas Longhorns is to go win it all. On the other hand, the Red Raiders, obviously, they've been playing decently well. Like, again, I'm not loving the Red Raiders this year. I also believe they're in the same category as Virginia, and just they're known for being good at basketball, so everyone assumes they're good at basketball. I haven't seen that from them this year. I don't think the Red Raiders are that great. I have yet to get a win that I'm really excited about. And this would be a win I would be really excited about for the Red Raiders. But, again, Texas leads the Big 12 with a rebounding margin of plus 7.8 per game, which means they, on average, get 7.8 more rebounds than the other guys. That means they're dominating down low, which is a huge part of winning in the NCAA and at the next level in the NBA. You can't just have perimeter shooters, which is what Texas has been for a lot of years. They're finally getting down deep, and I think this is a different Texas team, so it's going to be interesting. I think Texas is going to pull this one out, though. So that means automatically my upset pick of the day is going to be Northwestern traveling to number 21 Ohio State. Now, again, I believe number 15 Texas Tech at Texas is the lowest spread at 3. And Northwestern at number 21 Ohio State is an 8-point spread. Same thing as the Louisville Wake Forest game. The fact is, I believe way more in Northwestern and their ability to win than I do in Wake Forest's ability to win. And I feel like if there's going to be an upset today, I feel like it's going to be the Wildcats. Give me the Wildcats here to upset number 21 Ohio State Buckeyes.